You're listening to The Van Daniel Show, the show that brings you a sometimes explicit, most controversial opinion of a guy you've never heard of about anything and everything. Here's your host, Van Daniel.
All right, today, guess what? It got me. The coronavirus got me. I got my mask. I'm going to talk about it coming up next. All right, hey, check it out. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. If this is your first time, I appreciate you. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you haven't noticed, I've gone back to sitting down. So I've been approached on my social media by some people, and I really appreciate you guys more than you know. They brought some things to my attention. Okay, what they brought to my attention was they're like, hey Van, sit down, bro. So here I am sitting back down. Another one, actually his name was John, and then another John told me, hey man, I can really hear you breathing in that microphone. Apparently I'm a heavy breather. So, boom, here you go, John. Hopefully this fixes the problem, and I do appreciate your guys' feedback. If you have any feedback, let me know. In the comments below, everything's appreciated. Again, please subscribe, and if not, hit me up on social media. All that stuff's linked below, as well as all the equipment I used here as an affiliate marketing to help the show out if you choose to do so. All right, let's get into it, right? So, the coronavirus. Well, okay, first, full disclosure, I don't have the coronavirus. I don't. Okay. But it's kind of funny, right? I mean, if you don't know anything about the coronavirus and you don't know anything about what's going on in the world, it can seem not only scary, but also there's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of information people don't know about or haven't heard. So I did the research for you to let you know exactly what I know, so you can make an informed decision, right? And then later on, I'm going to give you my decision, my theory on the whole thing as well. Okay, so first, what I want to do is I want to put out some facts, okay, about the coronavirus. So the coronavirus isn't new. This isn't a new thing. The coronavirus was actually discovered in the 1960s, all right? And it's a virus that originates from animals, right? And this one, this strand is believed to have begun in a fish market in Wuhan, China. Again, that's why it spread in Wuhan so rapidly, right? Other notable coronavirus strands, though, if you didn't know, is severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS. Remember the mass in China a couple years ago, right? And then the Middle East respiratory syndrome, which is MERS. The two most notable coronavirus strands. Now, both of these were not very deadly either, right? They were just epidemics that came out, people freaked out, and then boom, here we were, right? So the coronavirus so far has killed 3,202 people. Right? That's worldwide. Okay, worldwide. Let me put it in perspective for you and why you shouldn't be worried about the actual virus. In the U.S. alone, from October 1st to March 1st, in just the U.S., 10,000 people have died from the flu. Yeah, let me say that again. In just the U.S., 10,000 people have died from the flu alone from October 1st to March 1st of this year. Where's the outrage? Where's the pandemic? Where's the issues with all this stuff? Well, there isn't any, right? Because the flu is common. We're right? We don't care. Well, it's the flu. Everybody knows the flu. But it's funny, you originate a virus in the hated communist China, and then you put a name to it, a different name to it, like the coronavirus, right? Something everybody can say, and it catches your eye, right? Well, so I did all this research into it and everything, and I'd like to consider myself somebody that thinks globally and not locally. Okay. So what I did is I looked at this in the big picture. And in the big picture, if you take a look at this pandemic, right, and the timing involved in this, it's interesting. It's interesting in the fact that on January 23rd, what was going on in China? If you don't know, let me refresh your memory. Protests in Hong Kong, everywhere. Human rights protests. They were getting violent. People were protesting in the streets. China couldn't control it. It was all over the news, right? Then the coronavirus hits. Now, people are dying all over the place. In Wuhan, guess what happens to the protest? They gone. Weird, right? Weird timing. Okay, but let's just go ahead and assume that that's coincidence, right? Oh, also, so back to the facts, right? Because somebody always tries to fact check me. So I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go back forward. Somebody brought up to me in social media, well, the rate to infection to death is 2, right? And the flu is less than 1. Because only 85,000 people have been infected with the coronavirus and 3,200 have died. Okay, calm down. When we talk about statistics like that, there's a huge, right, variable that a lot of people leave out. That's time, right? You can't say that, well, from October 1st to March 1st, 10,000 people have died in the U.S. from the flu, but 1.1 million were infected. So the number is actually less than 1%. And then the coronavirus has only been out since January 23rd until now, and it's 2, so it's more deadly. Calm down. Okay. Time is a huge factor. Mark my words, as things go, right? Time will even all this out, and the coronavirus will die out with very little, low number of how deadly it really is. Okay. So that's one thing. Also, so if you look at the coronavirus, another thing I want to go back to on the death toll part is the coronavirus has 3,200 people that have died, which is a lot of people. Don't get me wrong. That's tragic, right? Of those people, 2,200 of them almost, or 2,300 of them are from Wuhan, China. Now, what leads to that? Well, it just so happens that I have a sibling that lived in Wuhan, China as a teacher for a year. So I reached out to him, and I got some facts about Wuhan. Wuhan is an epicenter of education. So people are literally stacked on top of each other in Wuhan, China. It's very, very packed with people. So if you add a high population with a new virus with below adequate health care, a lot of people are going to die when something new comes out, right? Because you can't, Wuhan, China, if you don't know anything about China, if you don't know anything about communism, you don't have money, guess what? They don't care about you. So all these people are dying. It's old and young, are poor. So it shouldn't be a shock to anybody. And if you then run the numbers, so 1,000 people outside of China, people worldwide have died from the coronavirus. Calm down, please. It's okay. All right. Don't buy into the media, because that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about not only is the timing perfect, seems to be perfect for China, right? It absolutely works out for China in the most perfect way, that all their protests have stopped. They're gone. They're done. Well, what happened just last Tuesday? Super Tuesday, right? The Democratic nomination vote and all that stuff. Well, you can say whatever you want, and you say a lot of things about our president, right? The one thing the president has done during his presidency that the Democratic Party cannot even fight is how well the economy's doing. I mean, hell, President Obama even came back and said, I did it. 6 years ago, I signed this bill. That's why the economy is what it is. Sorry, Mr. President. I have video clips of you saying those jobs aren't coming back. Economic growth like that isn't possible. So you can't take credit. Stop. The Democrats can't fight that in politics. And I'm here to tell you that matters to most of the population. It's money in your pockets. That's what put jobs, opens up jobs, makes money, makes you money, makes your family more comfortable. They can't fight that. So what happened? Coronavirus hits in China. All the protests go away. Immediately, our liberal news or CNN, MSNBC, and all those, right? They grab right a hold of that. They go, hell yeah. If you know anything about the stock market, you know that it's driven by fear. If you don't believe me, go ask the experts. Go talk to somebody. I'm telling you, it is real. It's driven by fear. When something global happens, when there's a perceived threat, people out of fear pull their money out of the market. Market drops, right? Well, CNN and all these news organizations that are absolutely against President Trump in a key time when this coronavirus hits, is just kind of a perfect storm that just kind of fell into their lap. They promote this as the next pandemic, right? Because what it does is it allows, during the right time, the market to dip, everybody to look at all these Democratic hopefuls and say, oh, man, they were right. The bottom was going to drop out of that eventually. That person was right. No, they're wrong. If you've noticed, the market has rebounded. It has rebounded stronger than it dipped. I just think that the timing is perfect, right? And I would like to hear your thoughts on that. I would like to hear how you think I'm off base. If I am far off base and you want to argue either one of these points, or you want to talk to me about it, or you have an opinion about it, hit the comments below. Tell me. Subscribe right here. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know exactly how you feel. And also, there's a link right here. Also has all my other topics. All of them are controversial. Tell me what you think. Let me know. All right, my rant of the week coming up next. Back. My rant of the week this week is on DHS, CYS, CPS, whatever you call it. I'm going to talk about it. Child Protective Service, child services, whatever it is, right? Here's my problem. I just watched a documentary where a child was killed, where DHS or whatever, CYS was 100% involved. It's on Netflix. It's the Gabriel Fernandez trials. Check it out. It will make you sick. It'll piss you off. Listen, these workers had every opportunity to see what was in front of their face, and they couldn't, or they didn't. And you can tell me all day long, oh, I tried. I'm overworked. I don't care. This little boy died. You didn't show up. You didn't do the paperwork. You falsified it. They falsified paperwork. This kid was failed on every level. He was tortured. He was beaten and ultimately beaten to death by his mother and his stepfather. Teacher reported it. Numerous people reported the abuse. CYS, all they did, they went and talked to mom. Hey, is everything okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Okay, thanks, bye. What? That blows my mind. Then not only that, after they have uncovered all these problems with the CYS in LA, another kid dies 5 years later, the same thing. They're trying to defend themselves. It's unbelievable to me. I've seen CYS come into homes of good people I know personally, under false allegations and rip their lives apart and find nothing. Yet these workers show up to these houses and, oh, okay, cool. I'll take your mom's word for it. It is what it is. Oh, yeah, he's got a bruise on him. Oh, yeah, he fell and hit the doorknob. Oh, he fell off a dirt bike. Oh, he slipped in the shower. You fucking kidding me? It sickens me. And if you're a DHS worker, a CYS worker, step your game up. These children need you. And it makes me want to go be a social worker. Now, my degree's not in social work, so I can't do it. But it sickens me that we have children out there living in fear because you fail to do your job. You fail to document it. You fail to act. Unbelievable. All right, that's it for me this week. Like I said earlier, if you like what you hear, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right down here. Hit the little bell icon so you don't miss an episode. Also, leave a comment below and tell me what you think of today's episode. See ya. I'm out.
Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is only made possible by you, the listener, so thank you for your support.